Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing well and welcome to a Walt Disney World plan and prep video. So if you are following me on my Instagram, which is mainly where I post things, you may already know that we are going to Walt Disney World in 6 days, which is crazy to say. I am very excited. I mean, of course my mum and brother are also very excited. I just want to say, if I look really sweaty, it's because we're currently having a heat wave in the UK and we don't have air conditioning, so it's quite warm in here. Just to warn you throughout the video, if I look a bit warm and sweaty, that's why. As I said, we are going to Walt Disney World for 2 weeks in, 6 days, which is just crazy. So I thought it'd be fun to sit down and walk you through some of the things that we are doing this trip, that we've done before, maybe some new things that we're doing. Well, I'm not actually sure we're doing any new things on this trip, so I just thought it'd be fun to talk you through some of the plans before we then start doing our Disney vlogs again. I just want to say thank you so much for all the people who have watched our Disney vlogs. It is quite crazy that people are actually watching them. We have upgraded our camera this year. We won't be using this one here. I will be taking it just in case the other one packs up, but we have got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, so I'm so excited to use that. Need to work out how to use it before we go, but that's for another day. So I have my notes here about our trip, so I thought it'd be fun to talk you through all the things that we are doing, why we've picked certain things, because also it'd be like fun to look back on after we come back from the trip, to kind of see how our plans change, because it's obviously really nice to plan your trip and know where you're going on each day, but I think that sometimes it's so fun to be a bit spontaneous when you're in Disney World, like maybe cancel a dining reservation, add another one on, you know, go to a park midway through the day if you feel like maybe you haven't visited that park very much. So yeah, I thought it would be fun. So I'm going to split this video up into a few different sections. So our first one is going to be our kind of like trip overview. So when we're going, are some of the details of the trip. The second section is going to be our hotel reservation. We are just staying at one hotel this year, so I thought it'd be fun to show kind of why we've chosen to stay at this hotel and what we're most looking forward to. I thought it would be fun to kind of say a little bit of an itinerary. I'm not going to do it like date by date, and I probably won't do it every single day, but just so you can get a flavour of a few of our days and how we like to plan them. And then we will move on to Lightning lanes, which I actually booked them yesterday with the help of my mum. So we will talk through some of them that we've managed to get. We actually were really lucky and managed to get all of the ones that we wanted to. And then last but certainly not least, we will talk about our dining reservations for this trip. So let's get on with the video. I'm so excited to share all of our plans with you. So the first section that I thought we would start with is our kind of trip overview. So we are heading to Walt Disney World for 13 nights. We're kind of just saying 2 weeks because of the time change, and like obviously we have a night flight on the way back. So we're heading to Walt Disney World for the last 2 weeks of July. We will be spending Nathaniel's 13th birthday in Disney World, which, how is he 13? But anyway, super excited to share that day with you all. We will be flying from Manchester with Virgin Atlantic. That is currently, I think, one of the only airlines that flies from there to MCO, because obviously Aer Lingus stopped flying, and we have flown Aer Lingus in the past, and then we switched over to Virgin Atlantic, and we kind of just preferred Virgin Atlantic for their kind of service and things, so really excited to be on one of their planes again. So because we're flying from Manchester, we'll be driving down the day before our trip, and we'll be doing the meet and greet car park at Manchester Airport, and then we will be checking into the Radisson Blu Hotel, which is literally just a walk, like I don't even know, like 5-minute walk from the actual terminal. Terminal 2 is where we're flying from, so we've always found that's really good, nice and clean. We also have booked a runway view, because the first time we stayed here we didn't book a runway view, and then I feel like we were then spoiled the other times because the runway view is just incredible. It's so exciting, like in the middle of the night you can just see all the planes and all the lights. Perfect way to spend the night before your trip. And because we're staying at the Radisson Blu, we will be doing the Twilight check-in service and drop our big bags the night before. So we don't need to do that the day off, which just saves a little bit of hassle because we already have our boarding passes, and then in the morning we can just head straight through to security. So our flight on the Saturday departs at 12:10, and we arrive at around 4:10 into Terminal 2. Obviously that's Orlando time. We have noticed the last week it has been quite late arriving, so fingers crossed it sorts itself out before we are going, but you know, whatever happens happens, out of our control. As long as we get there, we don't really mind. So then we are flying into Terminal C, which we have flown into Terminal C once when we flew with Aer Lingus a few years ago. So obviously we don't really have the green carpet and the big water feature, but it's okay. We will be taking the Mears Express coach from Terminal C to our Disney hotel. So in the past we have used a private service, I think once, which was really good, and then that was when we were going to Universal. But I think we just prefer to do Mears because it's a similar price, if not a little bit more, than an Uber, and I feel like because it's just me and my mum and my brother, we feel more comfortable, you know, not just getting in an Uber with someone who we don't know and like a big Mears coach. Also, I know sometimes people complain about going around different resorts before you get to your own, but I actually really enjoy it. It kind of makes it feel real, like you're actually in Disney World. Because I remember one year when we were staying at Port Orleans Riverside, we went round like Wilderness Lodge, the Grand Floridian, the Polynesian. It was so exciting just to see the castle. Like you're in Manchester Airport in the morning and then you see the Disney Castle in the evening. It's just crazy. So then our flight on the way back departs at 8:30 at night. Fingers crossed it does. And then we will arrive back in Manchester at 9:40 in the morning. So it's always a dreaded night flight, but you know, you get back okay, so it should be fine. Also, I like that we have a later flight, so 8:30 means that we can kind of have half of a park day until about just after lunchtime before we then have to head back to our hotel. Just feels a bit nicer than just hanging around the resort all morning waiting to leave, which is like the worst part of your entire trip. Next section I thought we could talk about is our hotel reservation. So again, if you're following me on my Instagram, you might already know this, but we are staying at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside Resort, which, it's actually one of my favourite places in the entire world. We stayed here on our first ever trip, because we are lucky enough to have stayed, this is our 7th Walt Disney World trip. We stayed at Port Orleans Riverside every single time, but then a few years ago we also added on the Riviera, and then last year we added on Wilderness Lodge for a couple of nights at the beginning, which we absolutely loved Wilderness Lodge, and I would stay back there. Blah, blah, blah. I would stay back there again. Stay back there again? Is that right? Stay there again. But this, I'm excited just to have 2 whole weeks at our favourite hotel in the entire world. So our room for this trip, let me just get my notes. We have booked a standard location 5th sleeper which will be in the Alligator Bayou section. So we just think, I mean, Nathaniel's getting a bit tall now, so maybe next year he won't be able to stay in the little bed, but it is quite nice to have your own space. And obviously with the Magnolia Bend rooms and the Royal rooms that have just been renovated, you only have 2 beds, so it is quite nice just to have that extra bed. We are just doing standard location this year. This is our first time doing standard location room. In the past we have done the preferred location room, which is like you can stay in 4 different buildings. No, it's not 4 anymore. They changed it anyway. You can stay in like the buildings that are closest to the lobby and all the resort amenities and things, but we don't really mind walking, and you can still, with a standard location room, get lucky and be near the lobby and everything. And of course it's got the internal bus route, so you're not going to be too far away from where you need to catch your Disney bus in the morning. We have actually made a little not a bet, but like a little poll about which building we think we're gonna be staying in. So I have suggested we should have a prize for whoever gets the closest or wins, but I'm not too sure yet. You'll have to watch the vlogs and see. So I thought I'd share a little bit about why we choose to stay here. So if you didn't know, Disney's Port Orleans Riverside Resort is a moderate resort. So that kind of means you've got your value, your moderate, and then your deluxe. And then on top of that, you've got your deluxe villas. So we just love to stay here. People do complain sometimes about it being so spread out, but we kind of like it because it never feels busy, and it's really nice to come back from a Disney Parks day and it's just so peaceful and so quiet. And if you didn't also know, it's a sister resort to Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter. We've never stayed there, but I would like to stay there one day, and we can also use that pool. We do just have buses, but we love Disney buses. Oh, hello. We love Disney buses, they are our favourite. And Yes, we also have the boat to Disney Springs, which they've recently changed the rules, so you can only go on that boat if you are staying at the hotel, which I think will massively like reduce the queues, because sometimes the queue would just be too long that we just end up getting the bus to Disney Springs. So yes, and also it is in the Epcot resort area, so have you come to say hello for now? It is in the Epcot resort area, so sometimes you can see the Epcot fireworks. What are you doing? The Epcot fireworks, and also it's just really okay, I'm back now. She is still here. She might knock it over again. She didn't want me to be talking about our Disney trip and leaving her for 2 weeks, did you? No. So as I was saying, it's very secluded and we're really close to Epcot, and actually you're really close to Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, and you can see the Epcot fireworks sometimes, so we are super duper excited. I just, and like the bus, even like the bus music, which some people on here will probably understand what I'm saying, but I just cannot wait to be there. So the next section I thought I could talk about is our itinerary for our trip. I'm not going to go through every day, and I'm also not going to share different dates, just for like privacy reasons, but I thought we could have a little overview of how we like to plan our Disney days. So our travel day, we will be flying at 12:10, and after flying at 12:10 from Manchester, and we usually like to get Pret in the morning for breakfast, because I am a breakfast person, but I don't really like to eat a lot before we get on the plane. Also like to get an emergency sandwich, because we've looked at what the meals are and I don't think I'm going to eat them, so I always like to have that just in case. So when we land, fingers crossed, around 4:10, we will grab the Mears Express coach to Port Orleans Riverside. We will check in, we will unpack, and then we've decided, kind of depending on what time we're there, we might head to Disney Springs, which it is a Saturday, so it might be popping off, but you know, we'll just be happy to be there, because we really want to try Deluxe Burger on this trip, because we've heard really good things about it. So we do have another opportunity to try it if we can't do it on our travel day, but fingers crossed we can. If we can't though, then we would just grab something from the quick service, which at Port Orleans Riverside is the Riverside Mill. So that's got like pizzas, pastas, burgers, chicken tenders, which is what I would be having. Disney chicken tenders are the best. And then hopefully have an early-ish night that night, so we're ready. I mean, we're going to be up so early in the morning, but you know, because last year when we were staying at Wilderness Lodge, we went to sleep at about 7:30 in the evening, and then I was up and ready for the day at 3:30. So hopefully that doesn't happen again this year. Got to kind of push through the tiredness a little bit. Our first morning, which usually we go to Magic Kingdom, because I feel like that is like the staple park, but we kind of wanted to switch it up a little bit on this trip, so we will be heading to Disney's Animal Kingdom, which, if we're up early from the jet lag, which I think we will be, it kind of makes sense, because you're up early, that park opens the earliest, just get up and let's go, you know. So we will be heading to Animal Kingdom. We have lots of Lightning lanes stacked up, which I will share with you a bit later. And yes, we're going to have lunch in Epcot. What am I saying? We're going to be having lunch in Animal Kingdom, and then you've got all the shows that we're thinking we might watch early afternoon, and then head back to the hotel for a rest and possibly a sleep, and possibly go in the pool, before then we head out to Epcot later on that evening. So that is the first day plan. And it is the World Cup final on this Sunday, so we might be watching that if England makes it to the final. They've made it to the semi-finals so far, but we feel like if they make it to the final we need to watch it, so that will possibly be something for the afternoon. So now our next park day number 2, we are going to Magic Kingdom, because it would just be rude not to. Again, we have lots of Lightning lanes stacked up. We will be maybe getting breakfast in Magic Kingdom. I'm thinking a creme brulee croissant would be quite nice mid-morning, or maybe some spring rolls from the spring roll cart. I have my snack list. We will be getting through that. So that evening we have a dining reservation in Disney Springs that I will share in a minute, and we are going to go and see Fantasmic, which I have Fantasmic music going when I do my workout on my playlist, and it's just the best. I'm so excited. So then the next day we are heading to Hollywood Studios. So we're kind of mixing it up a little bit, because I feel like in previous trips we've kind of done Magic Kingdom, Epcot, but I'm excited to have a little bit of a different schedule, different days, different parks and different days. So we'll be heading to Hollywood Studios. Again, kind of similar, we will be just having lunch in Hollywood Studios, kind of watching the shows and just kind of seeing what we want to do. We are then heading to Blaze Pizza for our dinner that evening, which I'm super excited for, and then we'll be going over to Magic Kingdom to watch the Happily Ever After fireworks, which I always cry with them. I think my mum actually cried last year, but oh, I'm just so excited. We're also going to see if we can catch the Starlight Parade, either probably the one that's at 9 PM and then the fireworks are at 10. Because if you didn't know, sometimes then they also do another Starlight Parade when Magic Kingdom is open until 11. But just to add for this trip, we have got the free quick service dining plan, so we will be using all of our snack credits, all of our quick serve meals, but then we have added on about 5 restaurants, I think, that we will be paying out of pocket for, because they're just our favourites that we like to go to. So we will be using mainly quick service meals, but also have a couple of dining reservations in there to enjoy. And the next day we'll be heading to Epcot. We will be obviously doing Guardians of the Galaxy. We've got Lightning Lanes. I really want to try Regal Eagle for our lunch that day, because we have tried that in a previous trip and we weren't really too keen, but I think it wasn't the food, I think it was more like we were dehydrated, we were really tired. So really like to try that again on this trip. We also really want to explore the pavilions during this day. We did do more of that last year. Obviously when it's so hot it is a bit unbearable, but just got to push through. And then Nathaniel will be getting his cookie from Norway, which is his priority on this trip, I think, because he says it's the best cookie he's ever had. So if you didn't know, Kringler Bakery has a really good cookie. And my mum also likes the ice cream, and they do like an apple cake, which I got one year and it was gorgeous. So super excited to try those again. Talked through a few of our days. I don't know if I need to show you every day, but just some favourite quick serves of ours. So in Magic Kingdom we really want to try Cosmic Rays. We did go there last year after the Halloween party, but just like I feel like you need somewhere on your first few days that is big and air conditioned to have a nice sit down. Animal Kingdom quick serves we really want to try. We really like Yak and Yeti quick serve. We've got that before, and we need to try Satuli Canteen on this trip. I'm saying it now. We are trying Satuli Canteen because we've so many times we've said we're going to go there and we haven't. So this is going to be the year. I am determined to try it. Also, favourite quick serves in Hollywood Studios. We have Woody's Lunchbox we really like, but we have a tip for Woody's Lunchbox. If you're going to go for your lunch, don't go at peak times. Either go earlier. So we once went about 10:30 and it was like dead. There was like no one there, so it was fine to get a seat. Because if you're going at the peak times, it's so hot there and there's just not really enough seats. I know they've now added an extra part to Woody's Lunchbox, but we shall see. Hopefully we can get a seat in the shade. Where else was I saying? Epcot. We really like Connections. Really like the variety of food. Le Hal's Bakery in France is also really good. We don't have it down for this trip because we have done it our last few trips, but we shall see if we maybe get a sweet treat from France. We want to eat around the world one day. I mean, unfortunately there won't be a festival on when we're there, because Food and Wine starts at the end of August. And I mean, one day I want to go to Flower and Garden, and Festival of the Arts are like on the bucket list. So maybe one day, but not this trip. So now let's move on to our Lightning Lanes. So if you didn't already know, you have the Lightning Lane Single Pass and your Lightning Lane Multi Pass. So the Single Pass is like a one and done sort of thing. You just pay for your attraction. So that would be like the top tier ones. So that would be Flight of Passage in Animal Kingdom, Guardians of the Galaxy, the best ride in the entire world, in Epcot, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Tron, and Rise of the Resistance in Hollywood Studio. And then you've also got your multi-pass, so that means that's kind of like a ride where you can choose rides for throughout the day. They also have like a tiered system, so for example in Magic Kingdom you've got tier 1, you can only choose one attraction, so that would be anything from Peter Pan, Space Mountain, Tiana's, Big Thunder Mountain, Jungle Cruise there in the top tier, so you can choose one of them in advance. And then you've got your other rides are basically all included in some of the shows as well. So on the Walt Disney World website, but obviously if you want to double check, then that would be the best place to go. So you obviously don't need to get Lightning Lane multi-passes and single passes for your trip, but we just feel like it is very beneficial if to like skip the queues, and I don't really want to spend my whole day waiting in a queue for a ride. And we are very grateful and lucky that we get to budget for these for our trip, so we're just not spending as much time waiting in lines. Also, just to add, after you've done your tiered system in booking in advance, you can book any of them except the single pass rides. So you could have a Tiana's booked, and then you could scan in for Tiana's, and then you could book a Jungle Cruise. So just to let you know. Okay, so for our first morning, we actually booked these Lightning lanes yesterday, so we've got them all sorted. Very happy with myself. Thank you to my mum for helping me. So we have our plan for our first day in Animal Kingdom is we're going to rope drop Everest lots of times, because we've found that you can kind of go round the queue at least possibly 3 times if it's not too busy. And then our first Lightning lane is for the safari, Kilimanjaro safaris, and then our plan is to go and I really want to meet Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde. That character meet wasn't there last year, and I've watched Zootopia since then, Zootopia 1 and Zootopia 2, so that is super exciting. We then have a Lightning lane for Navi River Journey, and then we have a single pass for Flight of Passage, which I was only supposed to be booking for my mum and Nathaniel, but I accidentally booked it for me as well, so I'll be going and doing that. It's not actually my favourite, but don't come for me. I also really want to get a non-alcoholic Night Blossom on that day, because I haven't had one before and I just really want to try it. So I felt that would be a good time to have it. So then for our Magic Kingdom day, let me just look at the plan. For Magic Kingdom, we are going to rope drop Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. We usually find that it only takes about half an hour if you're in the queue quite early, obviously for early entry for Disney Resort Hotel guests. We have a single pass booked for Tron. That's for about 12 p.m. to 1 p.m, so like lunchtime. Our multi-passes, we have Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, which they've redone it and changed it all since we've been there last, so I'm super excited to try that. We then have Haunted Mansion booked, and then we have Tiana's Bayou Adventure, because by that time we'll probably want to cool off, and it'll just be way too hot. So nice way to cool off is to go on Tiana's. So that is the plan for that day. And then we only have, on our Hollywood Studios day next, we only have multi-pass booked. So I booked Star Tours for like 9:05, and the earliest you could book it for was 9, but I got 9:05, because then my plan is if you book them early, then you can then scan in to book another one. So that's kind of the priority, to get them stacked. On our first Hollywood Studios day, we are rope dropping Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror, which I'm a bit scared for. I have been on Rock and Roller Coaster before. It was like before they changed it to Muppets, so I am quite excited to ride it again. And I've never been on Tower of Terror. So Mum and Nathaniel rode it last year. I did not ride it, so you have to watch the vlog and see if I actually make it on it. I do think I'm going to like it, so it'll be fun. Also, I've decided that I can then get Hollywood Scoops ice cream, so I feel like that's good. That's good reward for going on Tower of Terror. So yes, that is kind of the plan for that day. Again, like I said, like maybe a Woody's Lunchbox mid-morning. And then we've obviously got the shows. We haven't watched the Little Mermaid show. We haven't watched the Frozen show in a few years, so that is definitely priorities. And we did watch the Villains show last year, so that should be fun. Again, most of our afternoons are back to the resort for a sleep if we need it, and go in the pool and just kind of like rest and recharge in the room before we head back out for the evening. And then our Epcot day, we have a single pass for Guardians of the Galaxy. We actually managed to get 5 single passes for Guardians of the Galaxy throughout our trip, so I'm happy with that. You have to ride it multiple times. So we have Lightning lanes for Living with the Land, and then Soarin', which will actually be soaring across America, so that's exciting to see. And then we also have one for Test Track. And then again, I said we'd go to Regal Eagle for lunch and kind of just look around the pavilion. So then for the rest of our trip, I'll kind of run you through some of the other rides we've managed to book. So we've booked, we managed to get Big Thunder one day in Magic Kingdom. We've also got Remy's Spaceship Earth, Soarin' another Epcot day. On our second Animal Kingdom day, we've actually booked Flight of Passage, and then I managed to get a Guardians of the Galaxy 4 later on that evening. We also have Zootopia show Lightning Lane booked, because we really want to see it, so if we haven't already managed to, we have that. Again, we're going to do the safari again. We also then have Cali River Rapids in the afternoon, just to cool off. I think is always a good idea. We also later on we have Rise of the Resistance booked on the single pass, and I also have got Seven Dwarfs Mine Train for 9:40 to 10:40 because I want to ride it whilst the fireworks are on. Now we have attempted this before because I'd booked the Lightning Lane, we'd scanned in at 9, gone into the queue, I thought, oh yes, great, gonna see the fireworks going off, like especially when you come down that hill, and the fireworks were delayed. My mum and Nathaniel were actually hysterical, like laughing, they nearly wet themselves because they thought it was hilarious that we came out on the ride, and I was like, oh, where are the fireworks? So hopefully, I'm thinking this year we need to wait until we see a firework go off and then get in the ride queue, but fingers crossed we get to ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train with the fireworks. And then another Magic Kingdom day, we've booked the Speedway for like 9 o'clock because I'm hoping then we can get another attraction booked. We also have Jungle Cruise booked, Pirates of the Caribbean, and then our last day, I actually really like our last day. Not as in, I don't like that we're going home, but I like how we've kind of structured it. So we're going to Epcot on our last day. So we've kind of said we need to be leaving Epcot by about 1:30 to be back to the hotel, get our luggage from Bell Services, get changed, and then wait for our Mears coach to come and pick us up to take us to the airport. So on this last day, we've booked all the rides for after 9:30 because we'll just have to finish packing up and then take our bags to Bell Services, and we don't really want to have to be rushing like to get to Epcot. So we have booked Soarin', Living with the Land, Test Track, and then Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think they're really good rides to be riding on your last day, and then we will head to Connections Eatery for our lunch. So that is kind of some of our Lightning Lanes. Really excited to see kind of like what changes and share these all with you on our Disney vlogs. Last but not least, let's talk about our Disney dining reservations. So as I mentioned earlier, we don't have as many dining reservations booked for this trip because we have the free quick service dining plan. It just didn't really seem sensible to be paying loads and loads and loads of more money when we've already got our free quick service meals. So we've kind of chosen our favourites. So on our first day, we have booked well no, we don't have it. I don't actually have it booked. We're going to go to Yak and Yeti, which is one of our favourites. We don't have it booked because the reservations are super hard to get, but if you have a Landry card, then you can just go up to the like check-in, say you have a Landry card, it's usually a wait of about 15 minutes. I think the most we've ever waited is 30 minutes for a table, but again, that's absolutely fine. Also, it's our first day, so I think we'll be quite tired and quite hot. I mean, this heat in the UK is preparing us, but we will have like a nice sit down, and also the air conditioning. If you've ever been to Yak and Yeti, the Yak and Yeti restaurant, it is so cold in there, so we will have that to look forward to. Also, like, the meals are just really nice, and it's actually not too expensive for what you're getting, so we're really looking forward to that. Okay, so our next dining reservation we have booked is the Boathouse at Disney Springs. This is like one of our favourites. The bread is to die for if you've never tried it. It's like got honey on it. It's so good. We also do like to splurge and get the duo dips and chips as like a starter because it comes with pimento cheese and salsa dip, and it's just like so good to snack on, and they will just keep bringing you the tortilla chips and then you fill up on before your meal actually arrives, but you know. And also like the burger there, it used to be $19. It's not too pricey, and it is the best burger I've ever had, so I am looking forward to that. Another dining reservation we have, which is one of our favourites, obviously quite expensive, is Ohana. We're going to Ohana for dinner. We just love the noodles, the bread, the salad. I mean, everything is just so good. Even like the broccoli, it's really, really good there. And of course, the pineapple upside down, what is it called? Pineapple caramel ice cream. The very, very, very nice pudding. So we are super excited for that. Our next dining reservation we have booked is the Plaza. Now, we went there last year. It wasn't planned that we were going to go, but we ended up going. It was Nathaniel's favourite meal he had. It was just really nice atmosphere, and well, again, I had a burger, but it was just really good. And we had sundaes, and you've got the view of the castle depending on where you sat, because we were sat in like this really nice like a porch bit, and like conservatory, you had like all the windows, so really looking forward to that. Then again, we have Liberty Tree Tavern booked for lunch. So we have it booked for lunch because then our plan is, after we're really full, like we were last year, you can just then head back to your resort and head back to your room. Again, we really enjoyed it. It was a new one for us last year and we really enjoyed it, so super excited to try it again. So then our last dining reservation that we have booked is our one and only buffet actually, which is 1900 Park Fair dinner. We did go for there for breakfast last year, which I would really recommend, but we're just doing dinners and like lunches this year. So we went to 1900 Park Fair last year. We really enjoyed it. It was just like the characters were nice. You can meet Aladdin, Snow White, Cinderella. Who is the last one? I actually don't know who the last one is, because I know you can meet Mirabelle at breakfast. Let me think. I actually don't know, but anyway, had really nice character interactions there, and the food was really nice, like all different cuisines, so really enjoyed it. So yes, that is all of our dining reservations that we have for our trip. To round out this video, I don't know how long it is, I feel like I've been chatting here for hours, but I'm super excited to be sharing this trip with you all. Thank you for all the love on our other Disney vlogs. Hopefully they will get better this year. I feel a lot more comfortable like talking to the camera, so yes, I'm just so excited to share this trip with you all, and we will see you real soon. Bye!